Chapter 7 by Jonathan Martinez and Heather Newman, The Contribution of the Teacher. Do teachers make a difference? The short answer is yes, they do. But diving into how they make a difference is more complex and the focus of this chapter. For these studies, keep in mind that the typical American teacher is a white, monolingual, Anglo-Saxon middle-class female who has grown up in a suburban or rural area. Almost all teachers are effective, meaning that achievement does increase. But the real question, according to Hattie, is what makes the most difference? Let's look a little closer at the contribution of the teacher.
A study reported by Hewitt Becker found a comparison of four-year college training programs correlated with alternative certification and emergency licenses had a decrease or zero effect on student achievement. However, when compared with full certification teachers who have several years of experience, the effect falls just under standard. Teacher education shows a small effect size on student outcomes. Hattie talks about one of the challenges that student teachers face by coming in with the perspective of a student rather than a teacher. He states that seeing learning through the eyes of the teacher means seeing learning through the eyes of the students in front of them.
Perhaps one of the larger effects studied for teacher education preparation is micro-teaching, which usually includes student teachers conducting mini-lessons to small groups of students, usually in a lab setting, followed by lesson analysis. Though the effect size was higher for demonstration and practice than theory, the conclusion was that all components together were important to include throughout the program. More studies like those of Darling Hammond may be needed to identify the best teacher education programs.
There has been a long debate on the importance of teacher subject matter knowledge. Studies show that teacher subject matter alone has low effect on student achievement. The importance of teachers having skills and developing interpersonal relationships with students is just as vital. According to Schulman, pedagogical content knowledge is the basis for effective teaching. A teacher's understanding of their content and the knowledge of knowing how to teach it work hand in hand.
A review of research conducted among college students found that students could accurately recognize quality teachers 70% of the time. This feedback only moderately led to improved teaching at the college level. Quality teachers, whether national board certified or not, were more likely to challenge and engage students. Though quality does affect the nature of what teachers do, it has little effect on state tests. It's also important to note that the effects of poor teachers can persist years after a student has been in their classroom.
When student, parents, principals, and teachers were asked about what influences student achievement, all but teachers emphasized the relationships between teachers and students. Cornelius White found that relations between person-centered teacher variables and achievement outcomes enhance students' critical and creative thinking. White notes that to improve student relations and take advantage of its benefits, teachers need to demonstrate care for the learner as a person. Seeing a student's perspective communicates the value of their feedback, helping them to gain more interest.
Most professional development research available has focused on teacher learning and not student outcomes. Teachers usually learn much, but it typically has little impact on their behavior and even less on student learning. Observation in classrooms, micro-teaching, feedback from audio-video recording, and practice has the greatest impact on teacher behavior. Timberley concluded 7 themes about what works best in professional development. The overall effect of the outcomes were higher for science, writing, and math respectively, and lower for reading.
Teacher expectations have a strong effect on student outcomes. It seems that the less the teachers know about their students, the greater the chance they will hold them to the appropriate standards. Smith notes that when teachers receive labeling information, they rely on those resources given to them about the student to determine their abilities. Ruby Davis found that when teachers hold low expectations for one student in the class, they hold the same expectation for all. Davis emphasizes the importance of focusing on students' progress and avoids sinking prior expectations. The higher the expectation, the higher the level of confidence the student will have.
Though most studies in this section do not have achievement as an outcome, labeling serves as a way for teacher and parents to differentiate between special and regular students. Labeling students plays a significant role in classifying students for funding purposes, but rarely brings about improved student achievement. In studies conducted by Hoskin and Swanson, there were no differences in these students in some areas, but major differences in others. The conclusion was that both types share problems in phonological processing and that phonics training had a direct influence on reading achievement.
Teacher clarity is defined by organization, explanation, examples, guided practice, and assessment of student learning. Hattie states that it's important for teachers to understand that they need to communicate the purpose of the lessons and notions of what success means.
Though few teachers are actually harmful to students in decreasing achievement, it's fair to say that teacher quality and relationships with students matter. How teachers affect learning or make learning visible are key factors in student learning outcomes. The power of a positive and effective teacher cannot be overstated. As it turns out, what teachers do matters.